So, resistance training or cardio training, what should we be doing? What's right for our overall health? What's right for fat loss, which a lot of people ask me about regularly, what they should be doing to maximize that side of things. And is one better than the other? To answer the last question first, is one better than the other? No, there is no better type of exercise you should be going for. The best type of exercise is the one you can stick to on a regular basis and get some enjoyment or some satisfaction out of doing, because that's going to help you with your adherence and that's going to keep you more consistent. So that's the first thing. There is no better than the other. Both have got their benefits and they're different benefits, so you should be looking at doing a bit of each. In terms of cardiovascular training, you're going to be improving your cardiovascular fitness, obviously, improving your cardiovascular health in general, improving some of your blood markers, bringing down your resting heart rate and your blood pressure, all great things. These are all fantastic. In terms of cardiovascular training, it's a great calorie burner, so if your goal is fat loss, it will assist you in getting into that calorie deficit. It's not just going to burn all those calories and burn all that fat off for you, but it will help with the process. And also cardio, what you tend to get is fantastic sort of endorphin release, that runner's high that people talk about. So you get a sense of accomplishment, satisfaction, elation once you finish. Another kind of not really well considered benefit to cardio is it tends to be something that facilitates being a bit more social. So you can go for a run with friends, you can go for a bike with friends, you can play tennis with friends, you can play five-a-side football with friends. All of these things are primarily cardiovascular activities, and they tend to be something that facilitates that community, that getting together with people and doing something with someone. So from that point of view, lots and lots of benefits to cardiovascular training. So no matter what your goals are, really, you should have some element of cardiovascular training. In terms of your resistance training, obviously the main thing that we all think about resistance training is getting jacked, adding on those slabs of muscle, looking thick and sexy. So yes, if you do your resistance training correctly and you work at the right intensity, then you will be adding lean muscle mass and getting stronger, no doubt. This idea that people want to tone up, which is a bit of a fallacy, it's not really a thing, but essentially I think what people are trying to get to the point of is, lose a bit of body fat and add some muscle mass. That will give you that tone, which essentially is your muscles getting a bit bigger and a bit firmer. So they look a bit more defined, they look a bit bigger, your t-shirt's a little bit tighter on the arms, all that sort of stuff. So it will help you with that side of things. Resistance training has a lot of other benefits as well, which people probably don't realise. So it's fantastic if you're trying to get a handle on your blood sugar. So if you're trying to bring your blood sugar levels down, or your HbAC1 level, which is a measure of kind of sugar in the blood over the last 2 to 3 months, what it will do is it makes muscle fibres and muscle cells more receptive to taking glucose out of the bloodstream and into the muscle for use. So it's a good way to kind of get a good handle on that. Obviously, you're going to help support your joints. So, the stronger generally the muscles are in and around the major joints, your knees, your hips, your back, your shoulders, then the more stability those joints will generally benefit from, because you're able to control the range of motion you're going into with the bigger, stronger muscles. And also, again, there's kind of this idea with resistance training of this incremental progress, which is exactly what we should be looking at, progressive overload. But what that does is that gives a real sense of achievement and accomplishment to whoever is doing the resistance training, because you're able to see those incremental changes really easily with resistance training. So, for example, if you're able to do 10 reps with 20 kilos on an exercise one week, and the next week you're able to do 12, or you're able to do more weight, you can see those really small incremental gains, and that's really, really good for adherence, because each week you're getting those little wins, and each week you're getting that sense of accomplishment, which will then help you to remain consistent, keep up your motivation and keep turning up, essentially, because that's the main thing. So in terms of cardio and resistance, obviously they have very different benefits, and you should probably have an element of both in any training plan, no matter what your goals are. If your goals are more towards the cardiovascular end of things, so you're training for an event where you need to have high cardiovascular fitness, yes, do more cardio. If your goals are more towards the muscular end of things, so you're looking to change how you look, change your physique and how it looks, then yeah, probably want to do a little bit more resistance training, because that's going to give you the look you're after. But in general, as a rule of thumb, most people should have some element of resistance training and strength training in their program. In terms of the kind of the elephant in the room, like what's best for fat loss, it's rather a moot point. Like it kind of makes no difference whatsoever. You know, each one will provide slightly different benefits to the body and will bring slightly different adaptations to the body. But one is not going to be inherently better for fat loss, purely because the best tool for fat loss is your diet. Period. Like you cannot out-exercise a bad diet. If you think exercise is going to be your tool to drop kilos and kilos and kilos, it's just not going to work out for you. Purely because of how disproportionately hard it is to burn calories compared to consuming them. So just as an example, if you was to go to your local shops for your lunch and you was going to grab a sandwich, it's probably 400 to 500 calories in that shop bought sandwich. Not saying that's the best option, but you know, an option a lot of people have. If you was then going to try and burn that off later in the day with your exercise, you're looking at 45 minutes to maybe an hour of good, excuse me, cardiovascular training to burn that many calories off. And in reality, most people are probably, if they're just starting out, not at the stage where they can tolerate that much exercise to burn that amount of calories. So for a lot of people, it just doesn't work out as a good tool to go for fat loss. And in reality, the best exercise you can do for fat loss is 10 reps, step away from the fridge. That is it. You know, you need to get yourself into that calorie deficit. Use exercise to help you get into that calorie deficit, so to burn a bit more, but primarily it's going to come from bringing your calories down that you're consuming, and then you'll get all the benefits of exercise in terms of feeling better, looking better, moving better, and you know, kind of your physique improving because your diet's bringing down your body fat levels and you're doing all these fantastic things with your training to make the body that's underneath that layer of fat look even better. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time.